So now the next thing that we'll be talking about is the female reproductive structure in a flower. And what is the female reproductive structure in the flower? It's the carpel. Alright, so now we have seen earlier also what are the important parts of a carpel. Let's go through them once again. This is the stigma. This is the style. And this is the ovary, right? Stigma, style and ovary, these are the three important parts of the carpel. So carpel has three important parts in a flower. The first one is the stigma. Stigma, it is located at the exposed end of the style, right? We saw it in the diagram as well. Acts as a receptive surface for the pollen grains, right? This is my carpel. This is the stigma, and on this stigma, what is going to happen? After the process of pollination, the pollen grain, let's suppose this is the pollen grain, it is going to land here, right? And then I had told you previously also, there will be certain exchange of the chemical dialogues, and then post that germination of pollen grain is going to happen. Okay, so stigma, important function is that it acts as the receptive surface for the pollen grains. Now the next part is the style. Style is nothing but a tube-like structure that connects the ovary and the stigma, right? We had seen this in the diagram. Now ovary, the most important part. Ovary is the basal enclosed part of the carpel, right? It was present at the base. Ovarian cavity is termed as locule. तो ovary के अंदर जो space होता है, the cavity, what is the term that we are using for that? The term that we are using for that is locule. Alright, moving on to the next part. It encloses ovule, and ovule is what? It is your megasporangium. Very important point. Okay, this is the stigma again, style and then ovary. Right? Inside the ovary, what are we going to find? We are going to find a ovule. ठीक है, हमें क्या मिलेगा? एक ovule मिलेगा. And what is this ovule? Ovule is the megasporangium. Very important point. Ovules are attached to cushion-like structure called as placenta. Now let's understand what is placenta. Suppose this is my ovary. ठीक है? This is one ovule. This is one ovule, this is another ovule. Now this ovule, it is of course getting attached to the wall of the ovary with the help of some tissue. Okay, so that tissue is nothing but placenta. Okay, that tissue is nothing but placenta. So ovules are attached to cushion-like structure called as placenta. So basically what is placenta doing? It is helping in attachment of ovule to the wall of ovary, right? Types of placentation class 11th में already पढ़ चुके हैं. See, this is how a ovule looks like. All these parts, hilum, funicle, micropyle, micropylar pole, the integuments, the outer and the inner integuments, nucellus, embryo sac, the chalazal pole. All these pointers we'll be discussing. Now see, megasporangium or ovule is the structure inside the ovary where the megaspore formation is going to take place, right? We are now talking about the story of megaspore, right? First thing that we had understood was, what is megasporangium? Megasporangium is the ovule, and here what is happening? Formation of megaspore is happening. The internal structure of ovule consists of the following parts. The first part is the funicle. Now let's see what funicle is. Funicle, it is the stalk that attached ovule to the placenta. Okay, right? There has to be one stalk which is going to attach the ovule to the placenta, right? What is the name of that stalk? The name of that stalk is the funicle. It is the funicle. Next is hilum. Hilum is the junction between the ovule and the funicle. You can see it in the diagram also. Hilum is very clearly labeled. We have already understood what funicle is, right? So what is hilum? Junction between the ovule and the funicle. Now integuments. Integuments are basically the protective coverings, the protective envelopes which are present. So one or many protective envelopes around the ovule. What are they referred to as? They are referred to as integuments. Like here in the diagram we can see two integuments. There is outer integument, there is inner integument. So such a ovule is termed as bitegmic ovule. ठीक है, क्या term use करेंगे हम लोग? Bitegmic ovule. क्यों बोल रहे हैं? Because it has two integuments. क्योंकि इसके पास two integuments present हैं. One is the outer one, another one is the inner one, right? Now next, micropyle. So what is this micropyle? It is the small opening at the tip of the integuments. Now if we are going to observe the diagram very carefully, we are finding that at one point the integuments are absent. Integuments वहाँ पे present नहीं है और उसी opening को हम लोग क्या बोल रहे हैं? We are calling that opening as micropyle. Next is the chalaza. Now what is this chalaza? It is the basal part of the ovule. Please remember what is chalaza? It is the basal part of ovule. Important. यहाँ पे देखो, here micropyle is present. The part where micropyle is present उसको हम micropylar end बोल देंगे. And the region opposite to it, that is the chalazal pole. What is chalaza? It is the basal part of the ovule. Then here in the diagram we can also see that nucellus is present. See here. This is what? This is nucellus. What is the function of nucellus? It is the mass of cells which is enclosed within the integuments used for the food storage. यहाँ पे खाना store होता है, right? Now next is the embryo sac. Very important. Embryo sac is the important part. Okay, so embryo sac के बारे में जानते हैं. It is the female gametophyte and where is it located? In the nucellus. ठीक है, बहुत important है. Female gametophyte. किसके लिए हम टर्म यूज कर रहे हैं? एम्ब्रियो सैक के लिए. सिमिलरली हम लोगों ने पढ़ा था मेल गेमेटोफाइट. हम लोग किसको मेल गेमेटोफाइट बोल रहे थे? वी वर कॉलिंग पोलन ग्रेन्स एज मेल gametophyte. Okay, so this point is very important. Embryo sac is what? It is the female gametophyte and where is it located? It is located inside the nucellus and nucellus is what? Your stored food. Okay.